Hey, welcome back to Shran Stuff Books. It's a place for nerds who like words. This week we are going to talk about a very interesting book, and I would love to know how if you have read it, if you have an opinion about it, if it's different than mine. Just hang on. Stay connected. Before we go into this review, let's have some background information about yours truly. I am a practicing Hindu. I am raised in a household that sprouts stories of gods and goddesses as easily as we breathe. Mythology and history are so mixed up in my world that it's hard sometimes to separate them. My curiosity to read and learn about other mythology was a natural progression for me. And as any fiction reader will attest, Greek myths are the most easily accessible ones. In recent years, this trend of retelling old myths has become a very successful trope in literary fiction. Some really great work has come out of this trend. For example, Mythos by Stephen Fry, or Lore by Alexandra Bracken, Ithaca by Claire Moore, and Circe by Madeline Miller. Now, stories of heroes and their victories are easier to read and enjoy. But my interest usually sticks to retelling of stories where we hear the story of the non-hero. The other side of the lore. Somehow these non-heroes, I don't really like calling them monsters or villains. Their stories are more close to my heart. And of course, if you notice, most of these non-hero figures are females in Greek mythology. The heroes are always this virtuous, brave, and fearless person. But I always find it unfair. Don't get me wrong, I don't think the heroes had it easy or simple. But I still think their stories have, a one-sided account of the situation. So when you decide to start finding stories how the monsters in the Greek myth became monsters, you usually end up finding a perspective that you never know exists. It's like that saying, on the internet, that we are all villains in someone else's story. Stories of these monsters, villains, and evildoers, they might teach us not to be too harsh and judgmental. When I saw Stone Blind by Natalie Haynes on one of my FB groups, I was instantly attracted to the cover. I'm like that little moth to a flame, that kind of person when it comes to covers. I used to buy books just because their covers were pretty. I still do that, but these days most of my purchases are either ebook or audiobook, so it isn't the same as a physical book. But coming back to Stoneblind, the cover art of this book is a sketch of a side profile of Medusa's head. Swirling green snakes on her head with blank dead eyes. Medusa is a very interesting character from Greek mythology. One way or the other, most of us know her or know of her. We have seen, heard, or read the legend of Perseus, the great hero who slayed the dreaded monster. The Gorgon with snakes for her head, whose stare turned people to stone. Natalie Haynes, in her novel Stone Blind, brings us the story of the woman behind the monster. A story that many others in Greek myths. It's always the woman who gets cursed or punished in them. Be it Calypso, who was punished by Zeus for standing with her father Achilles against the gods in the war between Titans and the Olympian gods. Calypso was cursed to be forever heartbroken, falling in love with heroes who washed up on her shores, only to leave her after they get better. Or the story of Daphne, who had to turn herself into a tree to avoid unwanted attention for from Apollo, or the innumerable lovers of Zeus that Hera tortured, Io, whom she turned into a cow after Zeus seduced her, or Callisto, whom she turned into a bear and then got Artemis to hunt her down after Zeus slept with her. Greek myths are filled with mortals being punished for indiscretions of the gods. Same is the story of Medusa. She's a mortal. She's born into a family of immortals. She got forces and fetus. She is left ashore by her parents to be raised by her other two sisters, who love and care for her immensely. She is so lovely that Poseidon decides to seduce her, and he chooses to force himself on her in Athena's temple, which infuriates Athena, obviously, Athena being a maiden goddess and all. And since Athena can't do anything to Poseidon, she decides to take her anger out on the poor little mortal girl. Now, Natalie Haynes weaves this narrative with such wonderful prose and backstories that if you never had any sympathy for Medusa before you read this tale, you are most likely to feel it now. The story of Medusa is, in a way, story of a modern day woman. She's born into a difficult situation, but she's making the best out of it. She has all she wants in her life, but is persuaded by a man she does not want or need. And instead of taking a no as a no, this man decides to hurt her, ruin her, cause things in her life that would make her life a misery. That man goes scot free, and the woman pays the price for her independence. There's a conversation in this book between the Goblin sisters which I think resonated with me. To mortal men, we are monsters because of our teeth, our flight, our strength. They fear us, so they call us monsters. Men call you monsters because they don't understand you. Now, if this is not a feminist view, I don't know what is. The fact that ancient Greek or powerful women were monsters, how is it different in current times? Even in current times, powerful independent women still get called similar names. People call them names because they don't understand them. If you don't read Stoneblind for its mythological mystery, read it for its feminist voice. If you like your heroes to be smart, brave and brilliant, don't expect to like Perseus. But if you like to read about wonderful sisterhood, strong women, and are ready to listen to a different perspective on old tales, do give Stoneblind a try.
Thanks for listening today. It was fun talking in your ears. If you like what you heard, please share and subscribe and follow for more. There is much more coming your way, I promise. If you don't like something, please make sure to let me know so we can improve. Thank you very much for taking time today. See you soon.